kind of wanted to talk and do something different starting this week. I started doing this at the start of the year, honestly, to see how good someone can get at Street Fighter. Also to kind of get myself back into something I loved. So I started doing this along with a vlog series. I think after about week 4 or 5, I stopped doing the actual vlogs. Now, the reason I stopped doing that is because the way I had envisioned doing the vlogs turned out to be unrealistic. I hadn't done content creation at all. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't realize that how much work it takes to do certain types of content. So the way I've originally envisioned the vlogs was to be a sort of kind of update / tutorial series, but doing that on a weekly basis, it was kind of not feasible. Does that make sense? Especially because some weeks I was learning nothing. It felt like I wasn't learning enough to actually put that into a tutorial or a vlog or whatever it is, that thing that I originally envisioned. And then so I stopped doing it, and I was just like planning on doing it every fortnight, which was fine, right? I was like, cool, I'll just start doing it every fortnight. And I won't say anything because I did say in the beginning that I would try to do it weekly, but you know, I'm not exactly equipped and know what the hell I'm talking about or doing in these games. So I wasn't really getting as much information as I kind of wanted, and I didn't think it was really worth me doing like that tutorial type series. Then it all hit me kind of all at once on week 6. I think I got hit with that much information, it wasn't funny. And that was really, I find, when I actually got in touch with the guys and I started to get to know them on Team WP, which is the Australian FGC Discord server, community, whatever. I'm not 100% sure on the titles and everything else like that, but you get the picture. And it was like drinking from a fire hose. There was just so much, and I didn't understand what exactly was happening. Like, I legitimately, there was so much, and I didn't even really have a small snippet of a concept to try and say, hey, so this is what I've been learning. Because there were times I was doing something, and I'm like, I think I understand this. And then I'd play around with it a little bit more, and I didn't understand it at all. Like, it turns out, like I'd find something else out, or someone would point something out like, yeah, man, you know, you're using that incorrectly, or this microphone is really doing my shit in today. It kind of blew out of my control in a way. What I originally intended to do, as I said, was that tutorial series type kind of follow along, just to kind of try and help people who were in a similar position to myself. And I've had friends like this where they're very intimidated by fighting games. They think they look cool, but they're not sure how to get into them. Or they're like, oh, that's just too difficult for me. So that was the original intent of this, was to kind of demystify that and kind of help people to see the journey as someone actually is taking it. Now, I don't have zero experience with fighting games. I've mentioned this several times on streams and stuff like that I used to play Tekken 3 when I was very, very young, and Soul Calibur 2 when I was a teen, like a very young teen, with my cousins. We quite often would get together after we were, I don't know, out on the farm or something like that, or, you know, do after chores, or after we'd be going down to the creek or something like that. At the end of the day, we'd all come inside and we'd literally go, winner plays on. We'd just play Soul Calibur 2. That's kind of the extent of my fighting game knowledge. I did play a little bit of Ultra Street Fighter 4, but that was literally for 1 month. And that's when I think I've said this as well, I was playing around with an arcade stick and I had no idea what I was doing. I literally, like, legit could not even do a fireball or anything else like that. But that's pretty much the extent of my fighting game knowledge. But I was like, let's see what it's like to actually try and learn one of the more complicated series. I know Street Fighter isn't the most complicated, but it's pretty much the most simple concepts, but to a high degree. Does that make sense? Like spacing, it's not that fast, like whiff punishing, spacing, and all these other really like more complicated things kind of exemplified, as opposed to something like Guilty Gear where it's very, very quick. You still got those concepts, but no, I feel, and I'm speaking out my ass here, I feel when I was looking at that game, and I did play it a little bit it was Wednesday actually, it just went past, it feels there's certain things and tools that characters have in that game that are, I'm just going to skip neutral. I'm going to skip this aspect of a fighting game. I am going to, and it's like, I'm going to exemplify this aspect. And again, it was just so effing fast. And I'm like, man, I'm not exactly a young man. I'm old by a lot of standards. So I'm still going to play the game, but I just didn't think that would be a good series to do something like this. I love Tekken, But again, Street Fighter 6 is on the horizon, so I was like, okay, let's do Street Fighter 6. I might do Tekken next year, because I absolutely have very fond memories of just playing Tekken with my mum and my father just on the PlayStation. It was just so fun. Or even playing Tekken, or there was a couple other games actually when I was younger at arcades and stuff. But I digress. So the original intent, as I said, was kind of like a tutorial slash vlog series. I'm going to have to evolve that, and I think the vlog series now is just going to be me updating maybe every now and then at the start of a stream like this one, and then just kind of cutting it up so that it's not, has all the arms that I always do, because I get nervous when I do these type of things, man. It's kind of hard, at least for myself, to put myself out there for anyone to see. But I feel like it's necessary. So many people struggle to get into this, and I've known people that want to get into this, but just don't believe in themselves, or just go, it's too hard for me, man. I'd love to play it, but nah. And I kind of just want to help them. I was thinking about this yesterday, actually. I spent a lot of yesterday doing some soul searching and stuff like that. Like what actually I'm doing and why I'm doing this, right? And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, am I a content creator? And I guess in a way, I'm starting to be. I don't know if that's what I want to be. Like, at least not full time, man. Like, there's so many other things that I want to do in life. And I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the next name a person. I guess in the FGC, as I found out, with Maximilian dude, who is currently streaming at the moment, so probably no one's going to be here, but that's fine. Honestly, go watch him. He's great. I've been having a lot of fun watching him. He's so high energy. If I ever get to meet him, oh, be great. But like, I was thinking to myself, like, if I am a content creator, or this aspect of me that is a content creator, what is it that I want to achieve, or what do I want to be seen as? I just want to get people to play fighting games, right? I want to meet new people. I want people to meet other people, because in the short amount of time, man, that I have been in this community, I have met some of the most wonderful people. And I feel more close to some of these people that I've only known for like 2 months, maybe. Or even on the people that have come into the stream. I get along with them, and like, it's just been fun meeting new people. But I feel more close to them than a lot of the people that I meet in real life. I feel like everyone's very like this in reality. But it's almost like people remove that filter when they have a screen between. It's both kind of magical and scary at the same time, because I think you really get to see more of what someone actually is when you interact with them through a peripheral, because they actually feel more comfortable to express themselves. That being said, like, I've met some of the most wonderful people, man. Like, people have just come out the bushes, like, everywhere. Everyone's like on YouTube, on Twitch, on Team WP. They're just all saying to me like, hey, here's how I can help you. I'm just being like, can someone help me? And they're just like, yeah, sure, man. And taking time out of their day to comment, to show me things, to like verse me and kind of fix certain things up, because they genuinely love playing these games and they want other people to play them. And I realize I want other people to play them, because I want people to realize they're fun. They're not as hard as everyone thinks they are. They are hard. I'm not saying they're easy, but they're not as scary as most people say. This is what I'm trying to say. But that being said, that's the whole point. Like, I think eventually I want to demystify fighting games. I want to teach people. I want to be able to show them some of these concepts and kind of point them in a direction that that's more capable than myself can actually explain it to them when they get more advanced. So I think at the moment, especially, I'm going to be sticking with the very, very beginning level of teaching. And what that means is stuff that we all take for granted if you've even played video games in general. So some people might go, if I say to you, like, oh, do a quarter circle motion punch. So like the Hadoken, you've never played a fighting game, you probably don't know what the hell that means. You're like, quarter circle motion. So you're like, I get the idea of a quarter circle, but let's say you haven't ever played a fighting game before or been exposed to them. You might not know how to do that. You might be going like, you know, and and then going like, why isn't that happening? So I kind of want to explain like how you do this, how you practice it, how you make that muscle memory, how that type of stuff. And I know that seems very basic. That's the point. There's a lot of content out there that isn't really pointed at that because people think it's too basic. And I've got a couple of friends that like have never really played video games that much. They do play video games, but they play like The Sims. And I've been testing things on them. I've been like, hey, you try learning this. I'm going to give you the peripheral and the game, and you come to me when you have a question, or just ask me. And if I don't have the answer, I look it up and I'll tell them. But like most of the time, it's like, oh, I don't know what this symbol means. What is this symbol? And it's like on the special move command list and stuff like that. Or, oh, I don't know how to do back dashes. I don't know how to do forward dashes. And I know that's such a simple thing. One of the people who I got to do it plays video games quite often, very into FPSs and horror games and everything else like that all the time, you know, kind of a TV head. I got him to play this and he didn't even realize there were special moves. He did the tutorial. There were just certain things that didn't click in his brain. He didn't realize there were different get up times, that it wasn't so it's just more of, I know there's certain things that tutorials will teach, but I kind of want to get to show people how to do things in the most basic way possible. That way, even if like you look at it and you're like, okay, I watched it once, I'm done. That's fine. But at least that kind of helps you and gets you in the door. And then you can actually start playing these games. The other thing that I kind of want to look at is maybe trying to figure out a way to help people manage with tilt and just losing in these games. Because I didn't think about this, and I kind of do. I kind of get it now. This is a very 1v1. So if you lose, it's all on you. Whereas if you're in a team game, right, you lose or you're failing, these people can kind of pick up slack a little bit. I'm not saying that happens all the time. It's very difficult to do it in this. You have to be accountable for your own shit. And that's scary as fuck. Getting a bit off topic there. But the other things that I want to do is, like, I love fighting games, man. And I love doing, like, execution stuff and hard shit and stuff that most people go, like, I'm not worried. I don't want to do that. So I'm like, I want to see and I want to show people that that shit is fun. And I want to try and do that in an entertaining way. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but I'll figure that out. I would just want to show people how cool these type of games are. I just kind of want to show how much I love this type of stuff and why you should be interested in it too. So that being said, these vlogs, I think I said this earlier, I might be repeating myself. I haven't got any script. I normally do, I kind of write up a mock script, kind of doing this ad lib and in the middle of a stream. So if you've tuned in and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And like, he's just kind of pouring out his heart, but like, you know, spouting a bunch of shit. I'm sorry. But hi. I kind of just want to keep doing this, keep giving updates of how I'm doing, like, and also channel updates and other things like that. And I'm still going to keep doing that original idea that I had of tutorials and stuff like that. But I'm only going to do that once I have a very good understanding of it. So for now, the tutorial series might be something, as I said, as simple as showing people how to do motion inputs, how to read like command lists and stuff like that. I know that sounds so silly or so simple, but you got to think, people who are watching this right now are thinking that's silly. You might have been playing fighting games from a young age. You might know the language already. Or you might be have played video games from a young age. What if you're a new player, never played video games before, and someone hands you a fighting game? Tutorials aren't helping you, right? So I just kind of want to do something that's more basic at the moment. And eventually, as we go on and as I start to kind of get a better understanding of things, I can start to kind of work my way up in terms of difficulty of those tutorials and stuff. Again, people might laugh at me, but I don't care. I kind of just want to help people. It's just what I do, who I am. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for now for that vlog. I don't know how or if I'm going to chop this up later or just going to leave it as it is. But yeah. Right. Let's get into the video. The stream is what I meant to say. Content creator of the year. Acting like a big shot.